We're just going to do the section walk.
Thanks. We're live, right?
Yeah.
Good morning, sports fans. Is the mic on? I've just got out of bed. Morning. Thanks for waiting. Just leaving the press office. We're going to take you some from behind the scenes. I'm just having breakfast. So here's the special corridor that all the riders make their way. So what are we doing this morning? Section walkthroughs. We're going to give you a very big close-up of each gate, each section of today's finals. The women's elite 20-inch, followed by the men's 26-inch, and then the men's 20-inch. So, the entrance, there may be, the riders are doing their walkthroughs as we speak, checking out the gates. So, welcome to the arena. And here we are. Where's the start? Okay. Good morning. You're already live on YouTube right now, so good morning. We're going to do a close section walkthrough, so without further ado, let's just get straight to it. Women's section number 1. So as we're also learning the sections as we go, put it this way. 1A. I'm going to try, I shouldn't really go through that way. So 1A, 1B, and that's the last. So there's two gates for 1B here, and then 2. Morning, Vera. Good morning. Hello. 2A, 2B, which means there's going to be a 2C. It is. So tape either side. Vera will do that fine. It's just whether she's going to go to front like this or she's going to wedge. We'll see. We see. We know. And then 2C's over here. You're live on YouTube, by the way, Vera. Just so you know. Say hello. Say good morning. 2C. It might look easy, but if you look closely, time you come around, there's tape either side of the gate, so they can't just jump through. That would be the obvious answer. They have to roll down. Yeah, if they go over, they can come back on that side, but they I'll tell you what we might not have done. -5. Okay, that's fine. So that's the end of gate 2. Gate 3, this lovely stack, the Angry Simpson there. 3A and 3B, so make their way up through this skinny log, this gate here, and then through to 3B. So that's really quite technical. They're not going to want to fall into this gap, really, but I think ideal, back wheel, back wheel, back wheel. Obviously ideally, but up until they get there, we'll find out. And then Vera's looking at 4A. No room for interpretation here. Tape either side of 4A. So as you can see, bang for it, shoe. And 4B, now this would be a good shot, to be honest. Obviously this is here to they'll be going through this because there's tape here, but I think that'll be for the men's final. Anyway, 4B, obviously they can't do that because they'll get a 5, but I think the women's are first. Good morning, Sergey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Why are you not riding your bike? Oh, because he's watching us instead. Well, maybe he is riding his bike whilst watching us. So, next gate, they're going to have to come from the other side. So 5A is where Vera is. We're just following Vera right now. Not much of a run up. Vera will just pedal up it, I reckon. Back wheel. Oh, sorry, scale. Yeah, so obviously they're going to want to go really to this side, but I don't think there's any run up really. Might favour a lefty, but then they can't go through the yellow gates. Anyway, through there, 5B is out through the rest of the section. I'm going to try and speed up because we've got a lot of sections to get through. 5B, now 6 is all the way back to the front. So they've got to come off 5B, probably roll around here, all around there, whichever way they feel most comfortable. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. And 6A. It's right over here, Tom. You keeping up? 6A. Pedal up to here.
Easy?
Morning, Debbie. Easy for you? Yes, it is.
I would do it from here.
Oh, I see. There you go. We'll see how the women attack on to 6A. Good morning. Through to here. Do you want to say that all again? All that one time. What was that? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Matt. I felt like I was a teacher. Well done. Your English is getting very good. You're live on YouTube, by the way, just in case you wondered why. 6B. And then there's 6C, so they're going to have to hold it in gap. Send le gap. That's how you say it in French, right? Le gap. But they can't. Let's take Pierce. They can't roll down. So section 2. Let's go. No messing about. Do you want to see Chai do one? Just let me know, and I'll give him the mic. I'm going to put my drink down here. Yeah, I do apologise for this. So right, no, I don't. You ready? Section number 2, 1A. Obviously that tape won't be there. I thought the women's were first, so wouldn't the tape not be there now? I don't know. So 1A, through onto this block, and 1B. And that's for the 10 points. So there's enough room to sit. Nina's looking at the gates here as well. So this one was actually in the yesterday in the men's. You can see, caught a couple of people out. So let's see if it catches up. So 1B, and then 2A. Should be quite quick. 2A. Drop down. Now let's see who they penalise, because they gave 5s on this when they shouldn't have got 5s. Really, but we'll see. 2C. Put through here. Interpret it as you wish. Straight onto 3A. No messing about. Again, I think a lot of these gates were from the men's yesterday. A lot of the women's will be some of the men's gates. So, bang, straight up to the top of here. Just a bit of perspective. Pretty high up. They're going to want to swap quickly. Drop down. 3B. It's much easier flow, these gates. Much easier to kind of find them. 3B, and that's up and out, and that's the end of 3. Number 4. Looks like it could be a lovely side up over here. No, that's 5. But that's only one gate. 10 points for a side up. 10 points for a side up. It's good, right? You can do that. You'll probably hook it anyway. See, one gate, but that's 5. We need number 4 first. How do you think you're going to attack it, Vera? What are you going to do?
I don't know how to say it in English.
You're going to hook it?
No, like...
Bounce to front? Yeah, bounce to front. That's all it is. You're going to go to front wheel. It's okay. Right, we won't bother you. I'm sorry. Number 4. That's 4C. So the girls are going to do what the lad's done. And they're buying a stairway to heaven. Okay, 4A, 4B, and 4C is that. So they're going to have to stay along it. 4B through this one. There's tape there. I'm getting a little bit confused by the tape. Let's not worry about that right now. So 4C, they're going to have to come up onto here and gap. This is basically the men's of yesterday. It's going to be quite difficult. I must say. 5, we saw the side hop. So I'll stand the other side so you can see the height. Hello. It's quite big. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. We're looking for the final gate, which looks like it's over here. Tomothy. Here. 6A. Turn and... Oh, come on. Who's going to gap that? Nina, you going to gap it? That doesn't sound like confidence to me. I think I could, genuinely. That's, I mean... On my bike, though. It's quite a big gap, really. So 6B gap. Yeah. Right, there's no messing about because I'm section 3. Do you want? Yeah, I was literally about to say, do you want to do one? Because I'm fed up my voice already.
What's up, Shin Dig? Yeah, everyone is tuned in this morning. Awesome. So,
24 people.
Huh?
Thank you so much.
it's not open yet. Not done. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We can't do that one.
They're behind on time. I see then. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So this hasn't been checked officially. So we'll go back to.
That's rushing, and they're not even on time. So breathe.
We're going to go back to section 1. We're going to look at some of the men's gates now, because we kind of gone through those quite quick. So the UCI hasn't officially checked out that one to know if it's all been
What
approved.
does that mean, the UCI checking, Tom?
So the UCI have to check all these gates and make sure that they are of standard. So there's certain things that you can and can't put in competitions. So there can't be a drop of more than 2 meters. It has to be, well, it might be 1.8 meters. But when someone drops from a high height, it's got to be broken up by dropping down to something else. Yeah, let's go back to section 1. We'll have a look at the men's elite gates. So starting block. Let's not fall off this starting block. We've seen people fall off starting blocks before. 1A is over here, so however they want to get here, probably around the outside maybe. Boom. Along lay log. Through to 1B. And then a lovely gap over to 1C up over there. That probably is the best interpretation. You might be able to go around the flags to make it a bit shorter, but I imagine most of our elite men will just want to gap straight through to that for speed. Doing those 3 moves will get you 10 points. 2. I think we're still going to be on this area because I can see a 2B up there. So they'll gap through there. They go into... Go around and round in circles. 2A? Oh, back up through it, yep.
Yeah, sorry, 2A.
2A, up now. So, for some perspective there. Obviously, you could come off here. This hasn't got chicken wire on it, but we are indoors. And then 2B is up over the top there. That way. So, the tricky bit, I guess, is getting up on here, staying up there, and exiting out this gate up here, 2B. That'll get you your 20 points. Just UCI talking about some tape and stuff, what's going to be removed. 3, where are we? I think we're going to come all the way down the end here somewhere. There's 4. So I'd imagine 3 is going to be up here somewhere. So 3. Wow.
Go ahead.
Come on, Thomas.
Good man.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. I don't know what was happening there. But some of our riders are actually checking the quality of some of these flags there. So Thomas Pekacker noted that this flag here was actually broken. And, of course, we've seen it in World Cups and World Championships before. Whereas that flag comes out during a section, it's an instant 5. That is the end of your ride. So they want to know if you accidentally catch that with a bike, is it going to come flying out or is it going to stay put? But irregardless, look at the size of this move. No run up at all, of course. Somehow they got to be getting up that. Gate 3. There's no A on that one, but it's not. Yeah, there's no A, so that would just be that. Then we come down. They've got to probably presumably exit your side, Matt, and come this way. Now look at this. Gate 4. No, it's just 3. Yep. So just gate 4. Look at that. That is like my chin height. So a gargantuan side up or a bounce in the front, rolling up to front. We've seen some people do some very big bouncing into fronts, rolling up to front. But there is no other way of attacking that. Massive. I'm going to go under it. It's probably easier. Can they go under it?
This one's easy, right? You just do this.
Yeah, I would. Why not? There's no.
I wonder if anyone else. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that in the final. Who? I wonder who does it. 5A is Schnya. Now they could use this if they wanted to, but I imagine most of our riders for speed will probably just back wheel up onto this, and 5B is all up there. Now that looks a bit gnarly because, to give you perspectives, it's very. I don't know if they can hook on top. I think they might be able to hook on top. I think there is a ledge on top of there. Yeah. There's a ledge on top. That's going to be a hanging hook, I think. That's your 5B, and then you get a gap is 5C. We saw this gap in the semi-finals, so it should be all within their repertoire. And 5D, because they can't drop directly from here, they've got to come down this log and through there. I imagine that's going to be quite simple for them as well. Gate 6. So far this section looks pretty normalish for them there. It's just that big old side up, whatever front thing they're going to do there. Yeah, it's a big move, just plonked in the middle there. So that will separate a few riders out. Maybe someone will go under. I wonder if they'll take that line. 6A. So this is the reversal of what we saw in the semi-finals. So that's 6A up there. But obviously you've got the women's gate here, because that would normally look like the correct move. Gapping from here into hanging hook. They've not got that option. So that's pretty gnarly. They've got to come from here. It's as high as the spectator audience. Look at that. And then down to 6B. I think getting there, hanging on, it's going to be the hard bit. And if they get there, that should be easy. Then they've got to just make their way out of the exit via there. Cool. Let's go to section 2. We're going to do the men's section 2. Let's speed through these. How many people are tuned in with us, Matt, right now? We've got 25 people early at this time of the morning.
Good luck to all the riders.
Thank you, Sam Ford. Good luck to all the riders, very much indeed. They need a lot of luck, because we saw that in the semi-finals, very, very close on points margin. A lot of the riders were saying it was a bit of an easier trial, which meant that it was silly mistakes and observers' decisions that really separated the trial. So, yeah. Let's get started on section 2. Anyway, where's our first yellow gate? Is it this one? That's 5, so we'll probably have to start right down the end, I think. We're already seeing high numbers here. That's the first gate. Okay, where Thomas is. Okay. So this is the lower end, about my nipple height. And that's the higher end. Landing on something, no run up. And that's the first gate. Wicked. That's a 1A gate. So yeah, then from there, they have 1B. So I'd imagine they'd want to stay on that, drop down to 1B. Or they could drop down and roll up here, but 1B, that gets you your 10 points. 2. 2A is over here. The letter V for Vendy space. Vendy is the area that we're in. 2A, switch. I think we just caught a bit of Danny Baron there and some of the other Spanish riders going through. So that's 2A. Nice, easy switch. That's very easy. It's quite tall, but getting a hook, static, up, got to come this way. 2B is this very large bar here. This is about my nipple height. I'm not too sure what that is in inches or centimetres. That gives you some perspective. 2B, and then over to 2C. Fairly simple so far. I think it's the first gate that's been the tricky one on this so far. Now, 3A, but importantly what they've done is they've taped off this block. This is what they were using in the semi-finals to gap from here up to there. There's none of that now. It's literally just from the floor. Yeah. Very, very tall. You've got the choice of this slopey part or you've got this part here. That's 3A. That's the hard part, because then the gap down to 3B looks fairly simple. Not going back through the gate that they've done earlier, otherwise that would be the end of their ride. Then we have 4A here. Power up there. Borja would just dump the clutch and up he goes. That's what he does. He's a very speed demon. I can't wait to see him do that. 4B. Straight hook. Same. Yeah, as Benito just pointed out, it's the same as what it was in the semi-finals. So they've done this in the semi-finals. They know what it's going to feel like. And it's a gap from here to 4C. Good, interesting angle. You'd have seen this in the live stream, but you wouldn't have seen it up close, is that when they gap to 4C, what makes this very difficult is they've got these block bits on top. So they're gapping along one side here. So it's a good sized gap, but they're having to land in a very skinny manner. Okay, 4C. 5. I think 5 was right back at the beginning again, wasn't it? So I think what they've done with this section is they made it long by taking you from the front to the back down again. 50 euros to the one hook down there. Wow. So this is 5A here.
He's right.
Here we go. So Borja's in the gap there. And it's effectively a very large gap over. Yeah. It's a large gap over to 5B. You can't exit either side. Are these solid? No. Come on, just... I see Sergey, he's watching this and he's thinking about that little park that we have in London, that little tower at London Park with a bridge that wobbles. I think I see what's going on here.
You could land the back wheel.
Yeah, with front wheel. I'm thinking, yeah. If it sticks, rear wheel, front wheel, and then push through. That could work. That's interesting. We've never seen that in a comp before. That's quite... Okay, so that's 5B. I was seeing so many smiles from the Spanish riders. Look at them go. They're enjoying this. 6. Where did 6 go? 6B. 6 up here. So this is a big send up here. Yeah, 6A. So through here. Reversal of what we saw in the semi-finals. Up. Down. And then spin around and out. So what makes this one difficult is the very first gate, and I believe the way they've laid out the gates. So it's very back, forth, back, forth. Okay, I'm going to pass you back over to my colleague, Matthew Pengelly. I'm going to get on the camera.
Sounds very fishy when you call me your colleague, doesn't it? Thought it was his friend. That was his friend. All right, on to the next section. They're still deciding. So we're skipping 3 and straight on to 4. section number 4. So we'll quickly look at the women's and go straight to the men's, I guess. That's going to be... so, starting block. Of course, first challenge is to get off the starting block. 1A, up and over through this. That's not hollow, so they can get ready to jump to 2. Oh, I was thinking that... Oh, no. 2 is carrying on forward. So, 1B, up onto this beam, to the left-hand side, and get your bike through. I mean, I'd quite like to see someone pedal up to this and side up. That'd be really nice, bit of style. And 2A is where Nina is, right here. Nina's looking through. No, it's fine. You do your thing. Vabra, Nina Vabra. Oh, we know how to say. I've been practicing before I go to sleep, like Nina Vabra. That sounded weird. 2A. All right. I think the guys are going to try and stay on this part here, I reckon, to gap straight to this rock for 2B. Not too difficult, but again, some of the simplest things due to the time, they're getting called out. So that's the end of 2B. And we're on to 3A. That's 4A. 3A. That's 5A. 5B, maybe they have to come back, so they might have to turn left. Yeah, we're just finding out the route ourselves. Maybe we've missed something, Tom. Right, it's got to be back this way. Emma should know. Where's 3? Where's 3? Where's the third gate?
For women.
Yes.
Over there.
Okay, it's right over here. Where we were. Good morning, Thomas. Okay. I see. So backwards from earlier, they were going this way yesterday. So they're going to have to come through here. And now they have to use this beam. So 3A is up over this concrete cylinder, and then 3B. Just that big. That's the size of the gate. So I wonder if we... So 4A, the ladies will have to stay on the beam and get up to here. This is 4A. So I think they've put the tape here to show the elite riders what they can't be doing. And it's obvious that the women will go up to here. But for the elite, they've put the tape here to say you won't be doing that. I think that's my understanding. So, and that is 4A. Oh, back to the rock. Oh, so they'll have to come back, drop down to where Emma is. So 4A, up, and drop down. So they'll have to drop down, ride around here, roll up. I'd like to think this one will be quite quick. Into hook, switch to back wheel. Now, they've got to get to, I think it'll be that rock. So they'll probably drop down, I reckon, back wheel to this rock. Yeah, and then they've got to make their way back up here. This one's quite a big rock. Up to two wheels. I was 5B, so they'll have to come back round, and then 6A's back up here. A lot of tape going on around here, Tom. So you can see. Up and around 6A. Yes, a lot of time will be riding to each gate. As we say, even if the gate's simple. So that's 6A. Just going to find where 6B is. 6B. 6B is right. Yeah, these two here. So there's quite a lot of room for interpretation, I must say. There's 3 rocks in 6B. So that'll be interesting to see what routes the girls take, you know. Do they like the hard route, the edge? More than likely it will be this one here. But and then 6C, where are you? 6C, here we go, into the finisher, tape either side. Good morning, Maya. Right, 6C. What is that flag? Well noticed, Tom. Oh, they think they're just doing it to put some tape in. Yeah, it's not actually got anything written on it. Right, let's quickly do Le Mans. Obviously, this is the starting block. You're live on YouTube. Please do not swear. Okay. Men's 1A. Quite a start. Bit of perspective for you. Shitting. Where's Captain Crash? Oh, he's here. Okay. All right. If he's already went through that section, I might get him to do the... Anyway, so 1A, 1B. Sorry, that is me urging for how disgusting this is. Let's put them in properly. Yeah, Tom's seen the line. You should be riding Elite, mate. There it is. I think that will be the line, right? Again, we'll let the riders pick it and we'll show it. 1B, 10 points. Right, 20 points. They're going to have to ride through this really quickly. I think this will be a reasonably quick gate because of the roll-up. You've already got the run-up. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying, right. That's why I was... So they'll gap. Up this, again, there's a lot of room for interpretation here, however they feel comfortable or however they want to approach that. 2B. And then that's 20 points. So where's 3A? 3A is from this way. So where Danny Baron is. Morning, Danny. 3A, and then there's a gap. So a bit of perspective. I'm guessing this will be the route. Again, we're going to see. I shouldn't predict like I know what I'm talking about. 3B. Just putting these in nice and strong. 3B. So they can't gap to that. They'll have to drop down, right? And then they've got to take the stairs. They can't take the ramp. So not inclusive in this gate. Just the stairs. But 3C, and then there's obviously a 3D. Yeah, so 4 gates in gate 3, so they'll have to drop down. There's tape here, so they can't use this obstacle. And they'll just have to hook it or crash it or... Yeah, it's going to be tight. I'm tired already, like, looking at it. All right, 4C. Sorry, 4, not 4C. 4A. What? So they're going to have to... Not have to. Yeah. We have seen this in the semis. You're right, Tom. So, but not many. Not many. So 4A, 4B is basically kind of backwards from earlier. So 4B on the edge of this rock here. That's going to be back wheel. And 4C is this way. So it's pretty much from what the semis were, it's actually backwards. So coming to this rock, like just look at the top, Tom, you get the shot of this, how rugged that is, and it's going to be tough to turn around. Unless this is removed, they will have to avoid this or get 5. So it'll be down from here, straight gap to 4C, and that's the end of gate number 4. I see 5A. I just started laughing looking at Steve. Anyway.
Is that Matt Pengen?
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah. Do you want to walk us through that section? Have you walked it?
I've only walked through number 5. So
That's what we want you to do. We're going to finish this one, and we'd like you to do that one because they're fed up with me already. Right. 5A. 5A. I think we'll see a Frenchie. Français? A Frenchie in France. The Bam Bam. That's what these youngsters, the Gen Z boys, the Bam Bam. Then 5B's reverse. So drop down. Oh, it's going to be a nice picture with that. Sorry, mate. So tape either side of this rock. really, that's tough. Look at that. Like, oh, I feel that might catch some people out. Bearing in mind, so tape either side.
You might be able to go sort of sideways.
Maybe.
And then,
you know,
like Le Crab to the right.
Le Crab, like it. Yeah. So anyway, one thing I want to say here, if they come out this end, look how much room till the end of the gate, end of the section. You know, it's still tough. 6A is over here. This is, yeah. This is 6A. So that's why they've put that tape there, so they can't gap from that. So it's going to be a run up. It's like a negative hook, because look at this, it's going in that way as well. So yeah, front wheel up here.
Bang up to there.
Yeah, but we should ride the finals, mate, really. 6A, 6B, I mean, to save time, as you say, if they've got this far, they're not going to want to drop down. In an ideal world, look at this slant, I would say gap to here, into a hook motion, drop up to back wheel. Yeah, Steve, come around here and look at that instead. 6C, just a ginormous hook. So this is the run up, and I'm going to go and I'm going to stand here. So, but again, time. They've probably got 20 seconds left. Who knows? Maybe 10 seconds. Marty's going to have 50 seconds when he gets here. Yeah, he was still here at midnight last night, and he's competing in the finals. What a trooper. Anyway, sorry. He could gap from there to 6C, 6D. Oh, tape either side here to 6C. Crazy.
That's going to be a gap, isn't it?
So then, it's got to be a gap, right? It's going to have to be.
At that point in time, yeah.
I mean, if they've got that far.
You're not dropping down, you're gapping that.
No. All right, and that's section number 4. I'm going to hand it over to King of Crash, Steve Rogers. You need to hold it because no one else will hear what you're saying.
All right. So I hold it like Matt Pengelly?
Yeah. No, I'm fine today. I'm fine today.
All right, Shinners. This is the end, so we'll go to that side. Start the green stop. Oh, the women's. Oh, well, that will be new to me. So let's start from the beginning. So they've changed the rules this year. I don't know if you've picked up on this. You used to be able to go back onto the start block, which you no longer can. So there's a slight change in rule there. So can't use the start block again. Not to be honest that you would, but there are some sections where some of the riders were gapping off of the start block, so if they made a mistake, they couldn't go back. But to be honest, I don't think anyone's had to use that rule. So I think this is the start of the women's, which was actually probably part of the quarterfinal or semi-final and still in the final today. So simple 1A, 1B. They'll probably either drop down, I would imagine, or gap. May just be simpler for them to drop down, but time is obviously of the essence again. 2A through here, and then it's anyone's guess where 2B is. Let's have a look. 2B for women's. Try you've followed the women's, though, didn't you? Oh right, okay. So, they're literally making them duck under. That's interesting. Okay, so 2B along the pipe. Shouldn't be any issue for them. 3A, right, so this is following the men's here, so just a bit of a balance beam. One thing here is, I think, so they've put tape along the side of the log, which wasn't there previously, so that's just making sure that you can't make any mistakes today. Probably use a little bit of speed straight to the end. And then what was actually in the quarterfinal for the men's, just the gap across. So again, quickly get set on the end, send it across. Should be a simple gap to 2 wheels. 4A, we're on the pipe. Again, probably a lot of the women will choose to take the gap. Yeah, drop to 2. And then 4A, we're on the downslope of this pipe. How you doing, Nina? Nina just checking out the sections ahead of the final. So 4B either a side hop into get set, bridge, and then pull back and onto the top, I imagine. For 4C, there's tape. Oh, the tape's gone, so they can go straight over. But actually, again, they're going to probably start on here for 5A, gap across. It'd be interesting to see whether the riders choose to use the block. They could opt to get on the block and twist. Because of where they position the gate there, it's a little bit set back. So either they take the direct approach and straight off, or a more conservative approach, which will take up some time. 5B is here. So they've taped the log such that they can't get all the way forward to bridge across here. It does require a gap from this part of the log. So again, just going to be getting steady on that uneven surface. So that's 4B, that completes gate 5. 5B, 6A. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Thomas. So probably down off the pipe. We've taped around the side of here, so it will just be a case of getting set, making sure the axles stay within the tape. 6A. And then 6B, I think we're heading right to the end of the section here. Oh, wow, right, okay, so 6B, they've actually got to get up this pipe, which should be a pedal up probably from in this gap, I imagine. They'll come up, and then it's a ride down the pipe through 6B. There, I think that's a circle, which I think, oh no, here we go, 6C up here. So that completes gate 6 for the women's. This would be interesting to see how they choose to do this. I would imagine that probably the route they would like to take. Interesting, because the way they've marked this out, it actually probably means, yeah, I guess they could try this, but that is very, very on the slant. I think for the left footers, I don't think they would have too much trouble doing this personally, but it might be an option to go from here, side up onto the pipe there, and the gap across. I think that's probably the best route in my mind, and then just straight out for the women's. Right then, so starting off the same as both the quarters and the semis. The only change in the semis was that they put this tape on the starting block, so it meant you had to go off the end of the box. You couldn't actually just jump straight into this first gap. Very interesting line from Charlie Rolls yesterday. He was actually hooking this, which I think he was one of the only people I saw do that. Most people were just shaking it straight to the front, but it's a question of, can you save a bit of time straight off that start block and go into that move without having to set up. 1B, slightly different. So 1B is going to be on this pipe. They've just taped up the numbers for the women's, because the final for the women's is going to be first. So obviously don't want to cross those gates. So that should be either straight to back or switch for most of the riders. It then means 2A is actually made slightly more difficult by the fact that that gate's there. So normally you would have to ensure, well, you obviously can't cross a gate again. This becomes effectively part of the sort of end of the section. So it's either going to be, the rider's going to have to get maybe set back up and just ride straight at this, which is one option, or just make sure that they cross this end, and maybe, I think what I've seen a lot of them looking at is potentially the gap to here in order to then side up and try and get through the gate. But it's a question of what they'll choose to do. We'll see. So that's 2A. 2B is now the gap across. And that completes 2. If you come around here, Tom, you'll notice where they've placed. You've got, is that, actually I was trying to figure this out earlier. So you've got 2B finishing there and 3A here, which as far as I can tell just means that that's a straightforward drop. Which I don't know, unless there's tape up there, which I haven't seen. But at least at the minute that looks like almost a, let's have a look actually, see if I can see. No. So question mark whether that's going to change or not, but otherwise that makes 3A very simple. 3B is the same again. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, we'll see what they do after the women's. 3B, same as quarterfinal and semi. That's no problem at all. 4A, as we were looking for the women's, just a bit of tape on here that makes it ever so slightly more complicated. Hi, Tom Pickup. Right, now we're into a bit of a maze because we go off of 4A. We have to come around to do 4B, which is a bit of a time waste gate, basically. Nothing hard about that. 4C, now we're into the big moves. Slightly large pipe here. So, yeah, I mean, I imagine the guys are going to try and land either to 2. I think this one is interesting. Yeah. I mean, this gate is now...
I'll take credit for that one.
That's a very simple gate now. Jack didn't see that, I don't think. But, oh, you know what? No, they've got tape on it. Yeah, so the tape's under there. So, again, that's the indication to take that out of it. It'll be, like I say, it'll be interesting to see if there's any other tape that appears, because it's quite difficult for the riders to look round and maybe not necessarily know 100% what they're going to be doing. Why do they do that? What's the reason for that? Well, I guess at the end of the day, they have to try and set out the sections for all riders, and clearly they can't leave it in for the women's, and the women's is going to be first. And I don't know if there's any sign language. I think the tape being there is the sign that it will be taken out. And yeah, I think so, because ultimately they know some of the observers can change some of these obstacles anyway. So 4C, we're back down. 5A, same again as the semi-final. Slight difference is the fact that they've got to come off of this. I think they had a little bit more optionality in the semi. 5B, we're probably looking at... I mean, I don't think side-ops are that common these days. It tends to be the up-to-front technique. I mean, you can come from here, you can basically roll that to 2 wheels, and I think that's probably the approach. I mean, you've got slightly... yeah. I mean, you can come back here. I mean, the run-up's fine for either side, slightly more narrow approach. That's 5C is the same as it was in the semi. I think, again, there was the option to kind of do it a bit of a cheat line in the semi, so they've made sure that it's all taped off. That has to be done from the floor. 6A up to the top. Should be a simple gate, even though it's looks quite high up there. 6B, again, I'm trying to remind myself of how they've marked these out. They're either going to add some extra tape, or, again, this just becomes a simple drop, which probably not as exciting. But 6C at least, they can't gap. They've actually put a bit of tape on the floor, right? So they're having to come back to the floor. So this is 6C. There is an option here, like if someone thought they could get that static hook, you could potentially come to here, or even, to be honest with you, if you can get high enough on that gate, you could potentially try and send that to front. But that said, these guys, they'll hook that all day, every day. So, and that's it. Right, section 5.
We haven't done section 3. You want to take it through?
Section 3. All right,
go. Still checking that out when we was there. So once we've done that, then we're all done.
All right, so.
Do you want to have a go with this gimbally thing or not?
Yeah, you can have a go.
Steve's going to try this weird gimbal thing. You can straighten it up using the little joystick here. Cool. You might have to just stand back a bit to get some perspective sometimes. So section 3, we didn't get to see this one because the UCI observers were still going through this. I'm going to go through the women's, and then Steve will do the men's. So straight into the section 1A. Bosch, cotton reel, switch. Over to 1B. Another cotton reel. All good so far. This is well within the remit of our women elite riders. They should be having this for breakfast. But it's afternoon, so they won't be having it for breakfast. Gate 2. I don't think there's a secondary gate on that. Just gate 2. Quite simple so far. This looks good. Even Andrew Chai can do this. 3A. Bit more technical, we can see here, because they've got to come up, not come back through here. So they've got to turn and then come down this way. We saw the men do this in the semi-finals. So they've got to come down this. Look how thin this beam is, by the way. It was quite hard to show you guys in the live stream yesterday, but this beam is super thin. It's about 3 finger width wide. But what's crucial about this, there's tape on either side. So they have to, from this point here to here, ride the whole bike through that. Rear axle must cross through here to get the points for 3B, gate 3. Okay, gate 4. There's a 4B there, so 4. It's probably going to be around there somewhere, perhaps. Women's 4. Through here, yeah, okay. So a little bit tricky and finicky. So they've got the tape here, so they've got to come up here, and you can see one flag is up there, 4A, the other flag's there. So Tituan's just saying, like, you know, how can the bike fit through here? Like, just showing it to Emma how she might want to do it, but very weird, janky angles there. Yeah, easy to get stuck there. So they're going to gap through there to 4B, which is here. 5A here. Casual side up for many. So that will go here. They've taped off these bits here, so gapping to front or bouncing in isn't really an option. It has got to be a side up or something static, because you've only got this space to work with. That's 5A. And then Andrew Chai is just pointing out 5B up here. This is a little tricky. It's somewhat similar to what we saw the men's do in the semis. They were having to go up the this little skinny bit here. Sorry, Jack. Up to there. Chai's pointing us on through, and they're going to come down the skinny beam here. This one's a little bit wider than the beam we saw earlier, about a hand width. 6A, and they've got to go up to 6B. So through here, turn. They've got a bit of room to prepare themselves to power up through 6B, which is that cotton reel there. Big move at the end of a section. And then 6C, just an obligatory, let's make the section a little bit longer. Bosh, bang, out. Steve is now going to show you the men's elite, and then that will be us done.
All right, well, again, haven't seen this one, so we're learning as we go. So straight off the start block, rather than up the middle of this cotton reel, the first elite gate is looking like probably either a gap from here, I would imagine, pin to front to 2, should be relatively straightforward. Either they just pop to rear and gap across, I imagine, here for 1B. 1C is up on that beam there, so you've got a balance beam line here. So basically, this whole thing, hope it holds together. It's about a 6 foot gap, 7 foot gap. It's not huge, but that looks pretty precarious. That takeoff. I'm not gonna lie. So that's 1C. I think we now follow the gates that we've had in the semi and the quarter final. There's 2A. So again, balance beam line has caught people out. Yeah, people will drop down, drop to the front wheel on the beam, get set, kind of just stroll down there as take the risk out of it by doing it fast. 2B, this was interesting. We were talking about this earlier in the weekend, that this would have been an interesting one, see how people tackle this without the beam that was in front of it. So it's a fairly steep angle. They do need to get that front wheel hooked over. This is not going to grip without it. So it'll be interesting. Again, bigger wheels are probably going to favour that move, just because a bit less rolling resistance. Yeah, oh yeah. 3A. So again, just avoiding the tape and the women's gates here. Be switching off down to this one, but then backing off the cotton reel to get set. This is kind of straightforward gap. Switch. Just have to make sure that front axle stays in the section. 3B, huge move here. They have still got this in, which is interesting. So this was in the semi-final. Semi-final, I don't know if this was here. There was certainly a gate here. So this amount of space is, I think, the same as what they had in the semi. It makes it really awkward if you want to choose to do the gap. We did see the likes of Ollie Waitman send this to front, which is a huge move, but obviously, a few guys doing it. Ollie, Jack, Noah all sent that to front. I didn't see them all, but I have it on good faith. But yeah, the other option is either up to front, switch, up to rear, and try and avoid. I think what we did see is a lot of pedals hitting on the cotton reel, which is giving people points. So very tight space to work with there. 4A. This one, I think, is just going to be another kind of hook technique. They've taped off the cotton reel, so you can't use anything else other than just either go straight to the top or get the bottom wheel on that one and hook through. So that's 4A. 4B, again, they've taped all of this off, so it does mean a little bit more coming down to the floor and getting set back up again. 4B this time is actually either side of this cotton reel, so I imagine riders will probably get... It's an interesting one, actually, because you can't easily get up here. You can easily get up on this one, but then do you... Yeah, I mean, I think they might be able to get up, twist, and drop back through that gate. What do you think, Chai? No? It's an interesting one. It's very... Yeah. That's it. So I think what we're imagining is probably this rolling from the floor is fairly a simple one. They might have to do some sort of weird back hop technique and drop in. But Thomas, what do you think? What do you think on this one? Any ideas?
Nah, yeah, probably as you said. Like, I haven't really watched it. Yeah, but I think going up, trying to squeeze the front in somehow, and then just go through anyhow.
There you go.
Heard it. The men's 26 is 2:30 local time.
Oh, 2:30 local time for the men's 26, and 4 o'clock for the 20-inch finals. And first of all, women's 1 o'clock local time for the finals. So that's 4B. Be interesting to see how people tackle that. Might be a bit of dancing up on the cotton reel there.
Shin Dig Media will be streaming the finals.
And Shin Dig Media will obviously be streaming the finals. You can check us out there. 5A. Now, I think we've actually walked away from this gate. It looks like another pirouette move. So most likely drop down, come back round here, get set. So interesting to see where this gate is. You would have to imagine the women's gate might be coming out here, which... Aha, that is potentially true. Balance beam. Yeah. Yeah, that actually very interesting. Which means probably a static hook, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess you can probably shunt through here.
Yeah, could you not? Yeah, you could probably get.
You could probably shunt through here and get twisted, but again, very tight on the tape, especially with that front axle. But yeah, I mean, this gate for 5 is no problem, just a switch for the riders. Oh. in my denim jeans, not particularly dressed for riding, and yeah, probably one of the only guys to crash off one of the highest obstacles mid-show. But oh well, we won't dwell on that. 6A. I mean, again, this little beam's going to take some abuse with the gap and now potentially a static hook. I don't think these guys will be sending it from the pallet personally. I think it's just that little bit too big, and that's actually set up nicely for a static hook, I think. especially if you're a left footer, you can hang the foot over the side. Does actually make that a fair bit easier. 6B, straight back. So that will be a switch off the floor if they're going to do it. I mean, they can take this slightly more favoured run up and aim for the lower part of their gate. Then it's a speed to the finish. Again, long sections. Should be interesting to see how guys get on.
So everyone, thank you very much for watching that. Yes, the women's final will be going first, and that is going to be at 1 o'clock local time. You can watch it on Shin Dig Media. We're going to be live streaming it. We're getting very close in the sections. All the times are up there. Just go to the live feature on our YouTube page. We'll hopefully see you all there. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.